So let's practice these two trinomials. We're going to factor them. So let's try together. First, you need to understand you have to understand that you need to see if there's GCF. So right here, 2, 5, and 3. Is there GCF besides 1? There's no GCF, so we're not going to use GCF to factor. Sometimes there is, then we're going to use GCF. So here we're going to just go ahead and factor. First, you're going to write A, B, and C. So what you're going to do is multiply A times C. So you're going to do A times C first, which is 2 times 3, 6. Okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to pick two numbers that you can multiply to get 6. So you can do 2 times 3, or you can do -2 times -3. I want you to write down all the possible answers, combinations here. Because -2 times -3 is +6. You can do 6 times 1, or you can do -6 times -1. So you have all these possibilities. Now, which one are we going to choose? That depends on the middle part. So the middle term is 5x. So what you're going to do is add these and see which one gives you 5. And that's how we determine which pair we're going to pick. So 2 plus 3 is 5. This one's -5. This one is 7. And this one's -7. So this right here works. So we're going to pick 2 and 3. +2 and +3. So what you do here is write 2x squared. You're going to expand 5x. You're going to expand to like this. 2x, 3x. We're going to use these two right here. So I'm going to do plus 2x plus 3x. Because 2x plus 3x is 5x. We just expand it. And then plus 3. The reason we do this so we can factor using grouping. And then once you have that, you're going to factor these two first, and then we're going to factor these two last. So first, we're going to factor by using GCF here. What do they have in common? Their GCF is 2 and 2. So you're going to write 2. X squared means x times x, and then x is here. So they have 1x in common. So you're going to write 1x in the front. Put parentheses around, put the plus sign. 2x squared divided by 2x. 2 and 2 is 1. X squared divided by x is x1, x to the first power. So this is just going to be x because this cancel. And then now 2x divided by 2x is 1. Let's factor the last two. Plus sign. What do they have in common? They have 3 and 3 in common. 3 is their GCF. No GCF for the variable. So 3x divided by 3 is 3 divided by 3, 1. 1 times x is x. 3 divided by 3 is plus 1. And you need to have same binomial in the parentheses. Otherwise, you have to go back and fix it. Now, you're going to write these two in the front like this. And then you're going to write x plus 1 once. And then you're done. This is how you factor. So that is this. So if I actually do the FOIL, 2x times x, that's 2x squared. 2x times 1 is plus 2x. And I'm going to take this and then do the distributive property like that. 3 times x is 3x. So what I'm doing is FOIL. 3 times 1 is 3. And right here, 2x plus 3x is 5x. So this is 2x squared plus 5x plus 3, which is what we have on top. 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. So your answer is here. 2x plus 3 times x plus 1. You factored. So we're just going backwards. We used to do this and then used the box method and went to trinomial, we're going from trinomial to factor. So let's go ahead and try this one. If you have no coefficient, you put a 1. This is your A, B, and C. And their GCF is just 1. So I'm just going to go ahead and factor this. First, you're going to remember is to do A times C. So 1 times negative 20, which is negative 20. And you're going to do the factor tree and write down possible two numbers that you can multiply to get negative 20. Two numbers, so pairs. So you can do 1 times negative 20, positive negative is negative, or you can do negative 1 times positive 20. Either way is going to give you negative 20. Now, which one am I going to choose? Which pair? The first pair or the second pair? That is going to be determined by 19m. Which ones can I add together to get positive 19? So 1 plus negative 20 is negative 19. It says positive 19. So it must be the second one here. Negative 1 plus 20 is positive 19. So you're going to expand the middle part. So you're going to write negative 1m plus 20m. So use these two numbers as a coefficient and put m. Because these two are combined like terms, negative 1 plus 20 will be 19. So you just write the rest. M squared plus m squared minus, negative 1m plus 20m minus 20. So the first A and C, just write it down, just expanded the middle part. Once you do that, you can actually factor the first two. So m squared minus 1m. What is their GCF? Their GCF is m. And then you're going to write 1m minus 1. Because m times m is m squared, m times negative 1 is negative 1m. Now we're going to factor the last two. What do they have in common? What's their GCF? Their GCF is positive 20. You put the plus sign. And then you're going to write m, because 20 times m is 20m. And then 20 times what is negative 20? Negative 1. You can just divide also. And you notice that m minus 1, same. That means you did it right. So right here, you're going to first write m plus 20 times m minus 1. And this is your answer. So if I do the box method or if I FOIL, I get this. So I'll show you with the box method. If I have m 20, m negative 1, I'm going to do the box method. M times m is m squared. M times negative 1 is negative 1m. 20 times m is 20m. 20 times negative 1 is negative 20. So if I combine like terms in the middle, 20 minus 1 is 19m. I just copy the first one plus negative 20. This is what we have on top. So we just went from trinomial to factor instead of factor to trinomial. Let's try the next two. Let's do this one together one more time, and you can try this one by yourself. So right here, you're going to put a 1. If there's no coefficient, put a 1 and write A, B, and C. And then you're going to multiply A and C. So AC, so you're going to do 1 times 16, which is 16. Okay? And then after that, you need all possibility, two numbers that you can multiply to get 16. So I can use 4 times 4, negative 4 times negative 4. I can try 2 times 8 or negative 2 times negative 8. Because negative, it gives you positive. So you have also 1 times 16 or negative 1 times negative 16. So you have all these possibilities. Now you need to pick one pair out of all these that will give me negative 10. So you need to add them. When I add them, which one gives me negative 10? Right here. Negative 2 plus negative 8 gives you negative 10. So we're just going to expand and use these two as coefficient. So you're going to do negative 2x minus 8x. So just use them as coefficient and expand the middle. And then you just write the rest, just copy the rest. A and C just stays, you just copy that. Once you do this part, you can factor by using grouping. So right here, first two, their GCF is x minus 2. So x times x is x squared. X times 2, negative 2 is negative 2x. And then we're going to factor these two. So we're going to put the negative sign. And then 8 and 16, their GCF is 8. And then you're going to put x, because negative 8 x times x is negative 8x. And then negative 8 times what is positive 16. So 16 divided by negative 8 is negative 2. That makes sense because these two are identical. So your answer will be, use these two and put them in the front, x minus 8, and then times x minus 2. Done. So when you do the box method for this, you should get that, or FOIL. So why don't you go ahead and try this one, and we can go over it. So here, you're going to write A, B, C. So you're going to multiply A and C. And before you do that, I see that GCF, there's no GCF for 7, 22, and 3. So I'm just going to do A times C, so which is 7 times 3, 21. And I'm going to write all the numbers that I can multiply to get 21. And you need to add those two numbers to get 22. That's what we need. So 7 times 3, negative 7 times negative 3, 1 times 21, negative 1 times negative 21. So these are all the possibilities. And which one should I pick so I can add them and get 22? Right here, 1 plus 21 is 22, isn't it? So you're going to use this as a coefficient for this. So we're going to expand 22x using 1x plus 21x. Okay? And then the rest, you just copy that. Once you do this part, you just do the factor using grouping. So right here, 7x squared plus 1x, what do they have in common? So you have x times x and then 1x in common. So you're going to write 1x in the front. And then you're going to do the parentheses. So what x times what will give me, you can divide also. So that's going to be 7x squared divided by x. So that's 7x squared divided by x1 is x1. And then right here, you have 1x. So it must be 1x divided by x is 1. So 1x, x times 1 is 1x. And then you just do the next part, 21 and 3, their GCF is 3. 3 can go into 21 7 times. So you're going to do 3 as your GCF, and then right here 7x, because 3 times 7x is 21. You can divide. Take this and divide here. And then 3 divided by 3 is 1. And you can see that 7x plus 1, 7x plus 1, same. So if you don't get the same thing in the parentheses, that means you did something wrong, so you have to go fix it. And right here, you're going to write this. That's x plus 3 times 7x plus 1, and you've just factored.